We are live. Okay, everyone, welcome to TOLTEC Tuesdays. If you didn't purchase your energy healing before the live, sorry, but you're going to have to wait until next week to get your energy healing done. So I'm going to be doing the transits in conjunction to the TOLTEC Aztec Astrology, or the day signs for this week. Apologize for not doing that yesterday, but I was super busy with my family. So that, again, you guys, we're not offering any other purchases but energy healings, and they were supposed to be purchased prior to the live event. All right. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start with the transits. So I'm gonna do it with in relation to the Aztec astrology as well, so that we could get it all over with. Okay, these are intense energies coming in again for this week. So just be mindful. I always say be mindful because it's intense and it's because of what's happening, this year, as well as what we've gone through for, the beginning of this year is kind of like coming back from years, karmic cycles, I would say, from years. And so it's time for us to really seek retribution, as well as really seek healing and justice. Okay, so it's really important. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with the transits first, and then I'm going to talk about the Aztec astrology for the day. Okay, so I'm going to talk about yesterday. So yesterday we had Mercury parallel Venus, and these were both contra parallel to Mars, and it's lasted until like 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today. So this is the alignment of the heart and the mind, while both are coming in being at odds with the will and drive, or Mars. Okay, so this is going to bring up a lot of arguments, a lot of conflict, a lot of really opposition energy, opinions, and opposing viewpoints, as well as even your values are going to be coming up into question. So it's really important for us to find a better way to communicate how we feel, especially what we believe in, with compassion, I would say, more than anything, instead of like leaning into the ego, instead of wanting to be right. Okay, so this is what we were seeing for yesterday, or we were seeing for yesterday, and a little bit in the morning time for Tuesday. So moving on to Tuesday, we have Mercury that's stationed with Venus quincunx Uranus today. So this is a very revealing day. Expect the unexpected. It is election day here in the United States. So again, expect the unexpected, okay? Just be ready for anything, okay? So at 9:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Mercury stationed direct at Libra, so bringing the conscious mind and intellectual mind into a standstill in the night, in the sky. And so we were kind of rethinking here about like our relationships, our commitments to others, or even to ourselves, our finances, our shadows, and more. So we were really revising this stuff, okay, or reviewing it. So with Mercury at a standstill and double square to Saturn, there's definitely like a very heavy, intense energy present right now. And because it is election day, it's even more apparent for a lot of people, okay? So then we got Mercury in Libra that wants fairness, of course, balance and harmony and fairness. But then we have the square to Saturn that is showing us what karmic cycles we're in, old paradigm, in even our beliefs that might be resistance to change, okay, that's coming in, okay? So Libra can also tend to ignore these things, sweep things under the rug, and not address, the shadow aspects of ourselves, as well as the aspects of others, okay? So this double square, the Saturn double square, can be very all about kind of really seeing what is really going on in our relationships with even our careers, our money situation, even the world around us. So pay attention to this for this whole week, I would say, even because this is kind of like the karmic cycles are coming in to really, really be assessed and healed, okay, and understood, of course. So then we also have Venus in Libra, quincunx retrograde Uranus in Taurus around 6:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So both of these bodies are in Venus ruled signs, okay? So change is happening within our relationships, within our material wealth, I would say, like career, money, things like that, and even our values, okay? So Uranus and Taurus is about change and accepting that the divine feminine is at her most powerful right now, in both men and women, okay? Not just women are empowered, both men and women. We have dual energy within us, okay? Divine feminine and divine masculine in our bodies, okay? So that being said, be open to changes and be willing to change and let go of things, especially things that are not serving you, especially things that are bringing you down into a level of negativity, as well as toxic relationships and toxic patterns. Okay, so this is what it's all about. And so don't hold on to these things. Okay, let them go. All right. So it's even about like the way that you feel about your security, about your finances, about the world around you, this stuff. Okay, so it's all about making sure that we move forward. We allow change to happen, because change is good. It's not negative, not like other people think, oh, it's hard to change, but it's really good. Okay, so this is all about making sure that we make room for the new. Okay, and that's why these old patterns are going to be removed, okay, to make way for the new. Okay, so just trust yourself, trust your guidance, trust that the universe has your back. You know, everything is happening for a better future. Okay, so for this day in Aztec Astrology, you have this day sign of Ocelotl or Jaguar, and this is governed by Tlazotl, and this is the energy that influences this day sign. Okay, so that being said, Tlazotl represents she is actually known as the filth goddess, a mother. She's like a Mother Earth deity. She's also all about the goddess of like human fertility and sexuality. So this is a temptress energy, where she might tempt you to, to really go after your desires, your passions when it comes to, romance or sexuality and things like that. But at the same time, she can purify you from that. Okay, so a lot of people connect her to sexual energy, especially primordial energy, meaning that you just do it without thinking. It's that type of influence of attraction, and raw sexuality. But because sometimes, if we do things out of like just, again, without thinking things through, we might come to regret the choices that we make in a sexual partner or involving ourselves in that way. Okay, we might feel very remorseful and things like that. So that's what she provides, is a healing for that as well. It's a cleansing of that, a purification of the sexual energy that was used or misused in your mind. Okay, so that's what she works with. Okay, so that's the energy of this Jaguar energy for the day. Another thing about this is all about the energy of Jaguar is a little bit more or less signifying, like energy of the warrior, who is definitely at the forefront when it comes to change. Okay, I feel like this is definitely in conjunction to what's happening with the Western astrology energy, where don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to change things about you that are not working out for you, your habits, any type of toxic cycles, things like that. And also in any type of recklessness that you might see or perceive in your personality or choices that you make or you made in the past. Okay, don't be afraid to let that go. Don't be afraid to heal that. Okay, this is definitely an intense energy for the day. Okay, so this is going to give us a big push in the positive direction. So because it's influenced by the number 5, the number 5 represents empowerment. It also represents strength, as well as amplification. Okay, so energies are amplified right now. Okay, and so that being said, you're going to have a tendency to be social, to want to connect to people, to want to really have a positive mindset when it comes to movement forward or to your future. Okay, and so that working with that, working with other people who really bring in, the goodness out of you is important. So stay away from those who make you feel negative this day too, because this is going to be very intense energy, and you are going to have that wanting to be confrontational at the same time too. Okay, so it's important not to do that. So then we have the third lord of the night, who's in charge of this night tonight, and this is Tulsitekutli, who is a youthful lord, he's a solar deity. So he actually represents the planet Mercury. Okay, and so Mercury represents in Aztec mythology the little brother of the sun. Okay, and so that being said, he provides an energy of understanding, communication, as well as social energies where because of the subconsciousness coming into the conscious mind for the nighttime, he'll assist you with anything that you have a problem with, like anything that you want to change and don't know how to change it, making a plan, even with communication. So if you want to have a really heart to heart sit down with someone, he'll assist you with finding the words to say and having the courage, of course, to do it. And then, of course, with more than anything, it's all about movement forward and really assessing what's happening in your life with relationships to others, as well as who can you trust and who can you bring into, I would say, who can you bring into the fold to assist you with having a brighter future. Because again, the energy is all about thinking more positive instead of thinking of what you lack. Okay, so moving on. We have Wednesday, and this is for Western astrology. So the moon is in Gemini at the start of the day on Wednesday, and it's linking with Mercury, making it for a very informative as well as very communicative energy. So like around 1:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon moves into Cancer, bringing us themes of emotions, our home, our family, our safety and security, as well as nurturing energy. Okay, so just be mindful of the moon's placements for Wednesday and how you feel about them. Okay, so moving on to Aztec astrology for this day, we have the day sign 6 Guatli, which is eagle. So this is governed by TOLTEC, the god of seed time. So he is also known as our Lord, the flayed one. So TOLTEC's energy is all about shedding the skin or letting go of things that just don't work for you. He's about death and renewal as well. Okay, so he represents this, understanding that sometimes we have to move on with our lives. Okay, and let the past be in the past. Okay, so that being said, for this energy for the eagle, it's all about really looking at the bigger picture. Okay, really having the insights that you need in order for you to move forward with your life, and then from there, doing whatever it takes to accomplish your goals, and really moving your energy from focusing on or refocusing on the past to or actually focusing on the past to refocusing on the future. Okay, so it's all about movement forward. So there's this theme going on this week is about moving away from the things that don't serve you. Okay, so then we have the number 6 that represents the flow of energy. It also represents growth, improvements, and steadiness. Okay, so this is about continuous energy coming in, and then also to assist you with your long-term goals. So planning things through, making sure that you have tied up loose ends, making sure that you actually have a solid plan and then take action on it. Okay, so that's what this represents. Then we have the Lord of the Night, which is the 4th Lord, Seteotl, who is the Lord of Maize or the Lord of Corn. So he is In mythology, the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl brought maize from the Pleiades, which are a group of stars located within the constellation of Taurus. And that being said, to me, this is a connection to your galactic heritage as well as to what sustains you. Okay, so really digging deep inside yourself. Santeotl will assist you with that, really finding what sustains you, what helps you move forward with your life, what motivates you to really look at, you know, what can you fix, okay, and what can you concentrate to have a better life, to have a better future. Okay, so that's what this brings. And also it's about harmonizing as well as balancing your needs with the needs of others. Okay, so making sure that you give and take at you know, equally. You don't just give. Okay, so this is really important work that Santeotl will assist you with that night. So we're going to move on to Thursday. So for Thursday, we have, hi Brittany, hi Julie, hi Elizabeth, hi Unstruck and Metzley. So for Thursday, sorry, I got like little flashing notifications. So Thursday we're going to move on to Western astrology. I know it's kind of confusing. So for Thursday, we have retrograde Mars in Aries, quincunx Juno in Scorpio, like around 7:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this week we have the Sun Juno conjunction on the 8th, and then they both quincunx retrograde Mars, bringing, you know, like this very intense energy of just confrontation and arguments into our relationships, as well as like into our businesses, our finances, or anything to do with connecting with other people. Okay, so with both of these in Mars ruled signs, make sure you have a healthy relationship with your anger, with your frustration, with your assertiveness. Okay, make sure those are healthy, meaning that you are accepting them. Okay, you're not repressing them. Okay, because this is not the time to repress that. Okay, like it's to understand what triggers you. You know, really focus on what people are saying, what they're doing that pisses you off, right? So this is what this energy brings us, because if you ignore it, if you repress it, you know, it's gonna mess with you. Okay, it's gonna really make you feel like you're gonna be experiencing, like, you know, to me, I honestly feel like the worst thing to do is become passive aggressive when it comes to communicating with people, like saying shit under your breath instead of being upfront. That pisses me off like to no end. That's like one of my pet peeves, because I don't mind confrontation. Like, I'm a fireside. I don't really mind it. I just like be real, you know, like say what you need to say. Okay, even though, you know, I might feel that you're wrong, at least you're being honest, right? So that's what this energy is all about, is really being honest with ourselves, being honest with people. If somebody's pissing you off, then tell them, hey, you know what, the shit that you're saying right now is really pissing me off. Like, I really don't appreciate this, you know. And so again, don't suppress this stuff, okay? Because it's really gonna lead to, you know, issues with depression, as well as like making you feel like you're being, you know, taken advantage of. Okay, so just be mindful of this energy. All right, so the energies need a conscious action, okay, right now. So it's about acknowledgement, as well as what are you going to do with this energy too, you know, so that it can shine the light onto, you know, any situations that need to be fixed, anything within you that needs understanding, okay, or love, you know. And so that's what this is all about, is really revealing this side to you, as well as the side of other people around you, you know. So moving on, we have Jupiter in Capricorn, quincunx the mean north node in Gemini. So Jupiter is the planet of the higher mind, but it can also be very self-righteous. I know I'm a Jupiter born energy, so I do tend to be very critical and self-righteous sometimes. So I understand this about myself, and that's why I'm okay with it. You know, I accept this, that I tend to be very, like, I would say, because I also have the influence of Virgo rising, that I tend to be very judgmental, and I tend to think that, you know, people who have certain morals shouldn't, you know, have those morals, you know, like for me, like I would be very self-righteous when it comes to marriage and relationships. To me, a cheater is a cheater, and they're always going to be a cheater. Like that's how I see them. I want nothing to do with them, right? And so I judge people on that, you know, on being that way. Like you can't control yourself. Like why don't you just be realistic with your relationship and tell them straight out, hey, I'm no longer in love with you, or I'm no longer attracted to you, and I want a divorce, or I want to break up. You know, to me, that's the worst thing you can do to a human being is lie and cheat on them. And so that's my self-righteousness right there. So because I've experienced that, you know, and I've also seen it in you know, my family. And so I'm just like, I don't understand it. Like I don't understand why can't people be honest with themselves and honest with what's going on for real, you know? So anyway, that being said, Jupiter and Capricorn can really highlight our dogma and rigidity. So this is one of the dogmas and rigidities that is highlighting for me, you know, and so it really is at odds with the North Node in Gemini when it comes to our path of growth in like I would say that's intimately tied to you know, becoming the student once more, you know. So it's time for us to really sit with ourselves and really tell ourselves like, hey, you know what, we don't know everything. like let's be honest, we might feel like we know everything. We might feel like the self-righteous, like I know everything and I am at a moral high standard than these people, but we really don't. Okay, we really don't know the ins and outs or complexes of other people's relationships. And that being said, this is what's highlighted is be okay with being the student once more. Okay, you're not completely mastering, you know, this reality yet. If you were, you wouldn't be here. All right, so that's what we're gonna be faced with. So another thing about this is a perfect opportunity for us to really look at anything that we are perceiving as, or we are resistant to, okay, or we are perceiving as being at odds with us, okay, or with our own, you know, dogma, as well as our own, you know, beliefs and things like that, okay, or morals, okay. So definitely important for us to really not be stuck in our old patterns or old way of thinking, and be open to change, and also be open to seeing other people's point of view, okay. So for the day signs for this day, we have day sign 7, Quasquecutli, which is vulture, and this is, you know, governed by Itzpapalotl. And so I would say Itzpapalotl, it represents, or he is, or she is also known, it's a female energy, also known as the obsidian butterfly, or the clawed butterfly. And so this is like a feminine warrior energy, okay? So Itzpapalotl stands for purification and rejuvenation through our sacrifice, okay, of what we believe or we hold dear. So this is very similar to what's going on with Western astrology. So sacrificing in the way of letting go of things that we believe are I would say our identity, or makes us who we are, when it really isn't. You know, it might be something that was passed down to us, a belief system, maybe a way of thinking, you know, things like that. So anything that's limiting you or not helping you connect, I would say consciously connect with your heart space as well as with other people's hearts in a very loving way, then that's the stuff that needs to be observed and really understood, okay? So that being said, this is like what this energy is going to bring is it's kind of understanding of like, you know, the understanding of life, the cycles of life, as well as the patterns that we have within ourselves and within other people, and really choosing to move into a balanced energy, okay, between, you know, understanding our shadows and our light, as well as the others, you know, people around us, shadows and lights. And so that being said, this day is also, you know, influenced by the number 7. And so the number 7 represents reflection, dream states, purpose, and magic and mystery. And so this is kind of like the potential to connect with the spirit world and find wisdom within there, as well as understanding, sometimes we have patterns between ourselves and other people that come from the past, that come from past lives, or possibly interaction in the spirit world too. Okay, so there's always a potential to understand these patterns better and know more about how they affect you here in the present life. Okay, so this energy is going to assist you with really connecting in that way and really finding equilibrium. Okay, so between the material and the spirit as well. Okay, so the Lord of the Night is the 5th Lord, Mictlatecutli, who is the ruler of Mictlan, which is the underworld. So he is associated with the energies of like, I would say, owls, spiders, and bats. So the thing with Mictlatecutli, he's going to assist you with that, with looking into the shadow realms, looking at your shadows, as well as connecting to the spirit realms, because he is that connection too. So it's going to be important for you to really discover these cycles that are coming in, like patterns of just, to me, any pattern that you feel that needs to be understood at this time will be important for you to ask Mictlatecutli to assist you with. Even with your ancestry, like I feel like this is a lineage thing too, where some of us are just repeating cycles because of our family lineage. Our belief system is dictated by that connection, as well as the way that we perceive the world. Sometimes we are influenced by our environment. We are influenced by our lineage, our beliefs, okay, and other people's beliefs as well. So it's important for us to understand, in order for us to really, really love everyone as well as ourselves thoroughly, we have to understand the cycles that are preventing that connection from happening. Okay, so moving on, we have for Friday, and we're going into Western astrology here. Hold on, let me just get a sip of water. So for Friday, we have Mercury in Libra squaring Saturn in Capricorn. So Mercury Saturn can be great for like having very serious discussions, but it can also lead to having a very negative mindset or outlook on life, especially if things are not going the way that you want them to go. It's kind of be really hard to refocus your energy as well as your mindset. So Friday might tend to influence you to really think on the things that you haven't accomplished or the things that you don't have in your life. So it's really important for you to try to refocus that energy into being in a state of gratitude. Okay, so being grateful for what you do have, being grateful for your life, period. Being grateful for the people around you, your loved ones, as well as your health. Things like that. It's really important for us to shift our mindsets with this energy. Okay, so another thing that this can really bring up is also, revelations of what's happening in our society. So pay attention to this too, okay? Because we usually have a mirror effect that's going on internally. We might feel like crap, we might feel like we're trapped. We might feel like we're stagnant. We might feel like we're stuck, or we might feel like things are not going our way, things like that. And then it'll reflect in our outside interactions too with other people, or even reflect that at a, like I would say, a little bit of a higher level, governmentally speaking. Okay, so what's going on in society? So it's important enough for us to even pay attention to that. Okay, so moving on, we have retrograde Chiron in Aries, quincunx Vesta in Virgo at 5:09 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Chiron and Vesta can support us in focusing on our sacred and spiritual path. But because of these tense aspects, it can also bring up old wounds and pain around any type of things that we did. Okay, so regret. Okay, any type of like action that we took, any type of action that someone took against us, things like that. Okay, so it's really important for us to really take care of our health and well-being, mentally speaking, with this energy too, because again, it's all about like assessing where we're at and really being in gratitude. Okay, during these intense energies. Okay, so don't let them bring you down. So then we have at 3:14 Pacific Standard Time, PM, we have a solar Samhain energy. So I would say kind of like this is like we had the lunar one, which is Halloween, and so Samhain energy is going to come in the solar energy for this time frame. So this is kind of like the sun that's crossing the 5th degree of Scorpio. That's what it represents. Okay, and so this is a solar gateway. So this is kind of like it's like a really precise midpoint of the solstices and equinoxes, and it also falls in the 15th degree of a fixed sign, which is Scorpio. So that being said, this is going to be a very intense alignment. It's also going to have a really, I would say, potent energy because of, we're so close to the winter solstice as well. So it's really important for you to ask for what you want and desire in a way of like really going for it. Like if you ask for something, then you really have to take action on it. Okay, because it's being influenced astrologically speaking, the solar gateway in this day is also being influenced by the lunar gateway at the new moon in Scorpio too. So really, really important to ask for what you want. And remember that when you ask for what you want, you have to make room for it to come in too. Okay, meaning that you have to do some shadow work. We're still in shadow season, Scorpio season, and that's shadow healing season. It's not negative, it's really positive. I always love Scorpio season because you have the really intense energy that helps you really see things thoroughly, as well as understand yourself better. So that being said, this is like the perfect time to really do that, but you have to be willing to change as well. You have to be willing to make room for new things to come into your life too. So if you're asking for example, okay, you're on the new moon in Scorpio. The new moon in Scorpio represents the energy of water, which represents emotions. It usually is a connection to your emotional state, as well as what you really desire when it comes to improving your life. So if you have a shitty relationship that you really want to get out of, or you're not in a relationship but you really want to be in a relationship, then it's time for you to focus on emotions, any type of emotional healing that is preventing you from moving forward. Okay, any type of emotional healing that is attracting people who are teaching you about these emotional things, okay, in your life. So really important for you to do the work too. So it's not just about asking, it's about actually doing the work. Okay, so that's why it's going to be very potent around this time. Okay, because it's really going to help you move you forward in your life. Okay, so moving on, we're going to do the Aztec astrology for this day. So again, we are on Friday. We have the day sign 8 Olin, which is movement. Again, movement. That's a theme this week, movement. So this one's governed by Solotl, and Solotl is the energy of the twin, as well as the energy of the underworld, or kind of like, I would say, he represents the guardian of the underworld, which is a dog. So he'll come in as the energy of a dog, but he's also the twin, or the twin of the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl. Okay, and so he also represents the the Venus as the evening star. Okay, and he's a shapeshifter energy too. Okay, so that being said, because he is a guardian of the underworld, he will assist us in understanding the cycles of death and transition, okay, or death and rebirth. So understanding that, you know, in our life, we do that very often, especially when there's changes that need to happen within ourselves. When we're doing shadow work, we're doing a death ritual, so to speak, where we're connecting to our shadows and understanding, hey, you know, at this time, I can't live this way anymore. I thank you for the lessons that I learned through your shadow energy, and now I'm ready to move forward with my life. Okay. Understanding that I'm healing this aspect of myself. Okay. So that's what he represents. Okay. And so that being said, the Oling is all about purifying the energy as well as moving forward. Okay. So anything that comes in that needs to be transmuted, anything that comes in that needs to be understood, it's, you know, at a deeper level so that you can move forward with your life. That's what this is going to bring. It's going to bring in harmony and balance that's necessary for you to really live a happy life. Okay. And so moving on. So for that, the number 8 also represents work, justice, harmony, and balance too. Okay. So this being influenced in this day, it's all about making sure that we bring in the energy that gives us kind of like a form, as well as a understanding, as well as a plan. Okay. And so that we can really begin to harmonize our relationships with ourselves and with others, and really bring in, you know, the future that we desire, which is love, light, purification, peace, and harmony. Okay. And abundance, of course. So that moving on, we have the Lord of the Night for this night is the 6th Lord, Chalchi Tliqui, and so she is the goddess of rivers and oceans, of water. So this goddess is all about really moving forward with connecting to your emotional self. You know, any type of pattern of depression, anxiety, anything that you're tapping into when it comes to you feeling like things are not, you know, the way that they should be, any type of thoughts that make you feel like you're a victim of your circumstances, of your life, or whatever else. She'll assist you with really understanding this and really going into what the root cause of this pattern is, as well as integrating this. Okay. And loving yourself better, and understanding that, you know, sometimes we do go through phases, but we really have to connect to why that's a pattern in our lives. Okay. So why is it that you're depressed? And even looking at when you do get depressed too, like what happened prior to your depression? When did you start feeling depressed? You know, is it a seasonal depression, or is it more or less that when you connect with somebody, you feel depressed right after? You know, things like that. It's all about focusing on when this starts, as well as how to help yourself out of that depression. Okay, so she can assist you with that. All right. So moving on to Saturday. So we're going to go back to Western astrology. So for Saturday at 3:41 a.m., the sun in Scorpio quincunx retrograde Mars in Aries. And this is kind of like the Sun Mars can be great for taking action, being assertive, and as well as just being a little bit more aggressive and going for your goals. Okay, so the two of these aspects are very tense, and both signs are ruled by Mars, and so they can also, you know, bring in like this dynamic of a struggle between power and control, and also it kind of feels like it's a a dynamic of like us against them. Okay, so just be mindful of this and be aware that, you know, however you're being directed, make sure that your ego is not directing it completely. Make sure that you're balancing your ego self with your divine will. Okay, because it's a very scorpionic energy, and it tends to want to control things, and also it'll bring you face to face with some of your shadows too. Okay, so it's really important for you to pinpoint where this is coming from for Saturday. Okay. Moving on to the Aztec astrology. So the day sign for this day is the 9 Tepatl, which is flint knife. And it's funny because it's like cutting to the root issues. Okay, that's what the energy of the pacto brings, is a really, really cutting in deep. And so that's a very scorpionic energy, really, really, not ignoring things anymore. Okay, and really facing the truth. Okay, so that being said, this is ruled by or governed by the energy of the jewel fowl, which is one of Tezcatlipoca's nahuals, or animal totems. So this is a symbol of very powerful and intense sorcery. And when I always think about this as sorcery or witchcraft, I always think about scorpionic energy too, or platonic energy. And so that being said, to me, this represents the day of understanding, what is really happening with your relationships, with the world, because we have a tendency to sweep things under the rug or ignore it because it doesn't directly affect us. I've been guilty of it. So that tepactal energy is all about not ignoring it. It's really facing the truth and really seeing the ugliness that is within, okay, that wound. Okay, if it's a petrified wound, really seeing it for what it is. Okay, and if that's happening, it's time for you to heal it. Okay, to really, really sit with yourself and do the shadow work. Okay, so that being said, the number 9 influences this day as well, and this represents patience, perspective, and really seeing things through a different lens. Okay, so it's kind of like all about detaching and really seeing the bigger picture when it comes to a situation that you might have an issue with, especially if it's old wounds from the past, like so you were heartbroken, you got cheated on, or somebody did something foul to you, backstabbing, things like that. And it's really detaching from that. Okay, really seeing things for like, I would say, the lesson in it all. Okay, and gaining the wisdom from it so that you can move forward with your life and teach other people about this type of situation. Maybe there's people that you're going to attract in your life that are going through something similar that you went through in the past, and now you have the ability to really be of service and be wise counsel to them if they're having a difficult time with their current situation. Okay, that might be similar to yours. So that being said, this is what it is all about. So then we have the Lord of the Night for this night in this Tlazolteotl, who is the filth goddess, and she will help you with cleansing, especially when it comes to relationship cleansing. I feel like a lot of people don't do this very often, where if they've had sexual intercourse, one night stands, or even a romantic affiliation from the past, an ex, things like that, they tend to carry that with them, that energy still, that attached energy of that sexual interaction. And it's important for you to cleanse and purify your energy from it, especially if you break up with someone, to release it. Okay, to release the connection, the attachment that sexual energy has. It's a bounding, or I'm sorry, it's kind of like a bonding energy, because when you connect in that way, you're connecting to two energies connect to create one thing, or one energy. Okay, and usually it's a creation of life, or a creation of, or manifestation of something. Okay, and so that being said, it's important for you to, it's not that you're severing the tie, it's more like you're letting go of the attachment to that person in that sexual manner too, or even forgiveness of what's happening with that relationship, or what happened, forgiveness of yourself for involving yourself in that, or whatever happened. It's all about cleansing and purifying the womb. It's important, as well as the sexual organs for men, of course, and women. So it's important to do that, because we have, for some reason, like, I don't know if you guys are, I mean, you guys are aware, but you have sex being plastered on everything, like sex sells, okay, in our community, okay, in our society. And so that being said, it's no longer sacred. It's no longer the sacred union of two souls in a loving way. It's more of like lust, and it's very primordial. I would say. And so that being said, for this, the Lord of the Night, Tlazotel, will assist you with that. Okay, she'll assist you with cleansing that, about you, and so that you can move forward, feeling like you're purified and you're renewed, as well as you're ready for a true connection with someone else. Okay, so moving on to Sunday. And this is going to be my last one for the Western astrology. So Sunday we have the Sun conjoins Juno at, in Scorpio at 12:54 a.m., aligning, the conscious self to the ego with the asteroid goddess of partnerships and marriage. Okay, so Sun Juno spotlights our agreements, our commitments, our relationships, even our debt. We might have karmic debt. We might have monetary debt, shared debt with our partner. So it's going to really highlight that. Okay. And then from, I would say, November 5th until Sunday, we're going to also have an alignment of the Sun and Juno with both quincunx to retrograde Mars. And this is going to bring this really intense, personal and professional, as well as relationship, tensity energy. So it's really, the tension is all about seeing what's going on in the relationship truthfully. It's not about hiding anymore. It's about really seeing if that person that you're with is really supposed to be with you, or you're supposed to be with them, and even when it comes to career, if that career that you're in, is it really satisfying? Is it really gratifying? Is it really making you feel like you belong, and you're being, I would say, praised for all the hard work? Is it really satisfactory, or can you do better? And the same thing applies to relationships with other people. In the relationships that you're with your friends, are they uplifting? Are they loving? Are they, supportive? Or are they the opposite? So this is what this is going to bring. Okay, so that being said, it's important for us to really own this, and really have these conversations, okay? So that we can, really see who is there for us, and what careers are actually going to inspire, our divine light, or who are going to influence us to be the divine light that the earth needs. So it's really important for us to acknowledge anything that's disruptive or toxic in our lives that has backing with that type of cycle of like feeling like you're not worthy, or feeling like you might, you can't do better, or you're always going to be broke or struggling financially, things like that. Okay, so then we have Pallas Athena in Capricorn, quincunx the North Node in Gemini around 1:59 a.m. So this is Pallas in Capricorn is focused on tradition and what we have always done, but can also be coming from like the old standpoint of control and power over other things, or dominance. With Pallas, we might be at odds with the North Node in Gemini, because our path is going into a growth pattern, and it's tied with really being a Gemini, really being open and curious to receiving information and learning, okay? Or really going back to the beginning of it all, like being the student, okay, once more. So that being said, there's going to be an opportunity for us to see the patterns that we are resisting, to see the patterns that we are, not allowing into our lives, or the changes that we're not allowing into our lives, because we might be in fear that we might, miss out on something, or we might be transformed completely and we might not even recognize ourselves or other people, things like that. So anything that comes into the state of fear, of letting it go, it's something that needs to be addressed, because the whole point of this energy is about movement forward. Like I said before, that's the theme of this week, moving forward. And it's really understanding ourselves and understanding other people, and really seeing how our energies are cohesive and are beneficial to one another, and anything that's not beneficial to you, anything that doesn't serve you, needs to be let go of. Okay, so that's what that energy is going to really push us to do. Now we're going on back to the Aztec astrology. So the day sign is going to be 10 Quihuitl, which is rain. So this is governed by Tonatiuh, who is the sun god, or the actual physical sun, and he is seen in the Aztec calendar, that like image. He's right there with his tongue sticking out. So that being said, he represents the fate or the energy of this world that we're currently in, the fifth world, or the fifth sun, this era. So there is, historically speaking, for the Aztec mind, there was 4 ages or suns that came before this one, and they always ended up, ending in catastrophe, like floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, even I think it was, the other one was kind of like a fiery, I don't know what the heck, it was like a volcanic eruption thing. But anyway, we're currently in the fifth world that's influenced by the solar deity, or the sun god energy. And that being said, this is kind of like very unpredictable energy at this time for this day sign. Rain is water energy, but it's also very unpredictable, or emotionally unpredictable energy. And so because the influence of the sun god will influence the energy of emotions to boil over, I would say. So anything that you're being confronted with today or that day will kind of like make you feel a little bit uneasy, or you might freak out or boil over. Emotionally speaking, you might lash out. So just be mindful of that, because it's definitely, manifesting this. Okay, so the number 10 represents the energy of manifestation, of really seeing where we're putting our focus on. Okay, so it's really important for us to be mindful around this time and this energy, because if we want to manifest something into our lives, especially something more harmonious and loving, then it can happen. But if we're highlighting what we don't have and how miserable we are, or how angry we are, then we're going to have scenarios that are going to start playing in with other people to highlight that. Okay, so it's a reflection of the mirror effect happening here with manifesting with this energy. Okay, for that day. So the Lord of the Night is going to be the 8th Lord, Tepeyolotl, the heart of the mountain, who is Jaguar of the Night. So he is also known as, one of the Nahuals of Tezcatlipoca, and he helps with really seeing things, or really refocusing energy. So healing with a compassionate heart. Okay, that's what he assists you with, like not being too rough on yourself, not focusing on what you don't have, not having a negative mindset about your life circumstances, as well as your interactions with others, things like that. Like not falling into that victim mentality. He'll assist you with that. Okay, so it's really important for you to connect with him in that way. So, all right, so moving on, we have so we're done with the Western astrology portion. So we only have one more day for the Aztec astrology. So we've got Monday. The day sign is going to be 11 Xochitl, which is flower. So this is governed by Xochiquetzal, which is a flower feather. And so she represents the energy of youth, as well as she's the goddess of flowers, love, pleasure, and beauty. Okay, so she's a very Venusian type of energy. Okay, and she's also the patron of artists. All right, so anyone who beautifies the world or brings beauty into the world, she influences you guys. Okay, so that being said, this day is it's about beautification. It's about beautifying yourself, about really being in the state of gratitude, as well as doing stuff for you, like anything that'll help you with self-care, having a spa day, having a retreat day, anything that makes you feel beautiful once more, or replenished and renewed. Okay. So I would definitely recommend doing any type of artistic works, such as singing, dancing, creating, even sexual creation, like connecting them that way. If you feel like you're gorgeous, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. So if that makes you feel happy, if you find pleasure and love from that connection, then do it. Okay. So moving on. The sign is also influenced by the number 11. And so the energy of 11 represents the energy of resolutions, connection to the divine. And then it's kind of like the bridger of the spirit world, as well as taking action to facilitate great change. Okay. And the great change could be something in a very positive way, like meaning like, hey, today, I'm looking at my office. I really don't like the color of my walls. Maybe I'm going to make it brighter, be more beautiful, and make me feel more at home, or more centered, more balanced, more beautified, things like that. So that's what 11 represents, is really connecting to the divine within you, and seeing the beauty within you, okay, as a co-creator of your reality, okay, as well as, of course, connecting to divinity in the higher realms. All right. So the Lord of the Night is going to be the ninth Lord, which is Tlaloc, who is the rain god. So he's a god of fertility and rain, but he's also very wrathful when it comes to, he is blamed for any droughts, any flooding, and any like mudslides, things like that. So he can be very wrathful, but he could also be very giving. Okay. So he can assist you with duality, the way that you think about yourself. Like if you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like looking at yourself, you don't like looking at your body, you don't like looking at your face, you think there's something wrong with you, then he can assist you with seeing the beauty within you, like your beautiful eyes, your nose, your, things like that, your good health, So it's all about really seeing duality within you, as well as understanding that there's beauty within everyone, and really highlighting that, really highlighting what you bring to the world, okay? Especially with the inner self too, not only the outer self, but the inner self too, the feelings and emotions that you have, the compassion that you have for others, the love that you have for others, even if they're not your family, all the good stuff that you've done thus far in this world. So it's really about going into that frame of mind, instead of going into the I wish frame of mind. Okay. Or I wish I wasn't like this, or I wish I didn't do that, or, regret. Okay. Going into gratitude instead. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys for the transits for this week. Let me just get that away. All right. Hi, Stephanie. All right. So we're going to do energy work now. So I have Brittany, and then I have, Elizabeth Gonzalez for energy work. Let me check my list again for energy work, making sure, because that's the last ones that I saw for energy work. But wait, I think I got a message from you, Elizabeth. Let me check. ¿Qué dijiste? I just saw the comment that you had for your sister's interview. This is why I want to get matching bruja tattoo. Oh, Lizzie. Matching bruja tattoos. You guys should find a sigil or something that you guys create together and have like these matching tattoos. Bruja power. Look it up. I feel like you definitely can make something, that represents your family, or represents, the women in your family. That'll be cool. So anyway, Brittany, if you're still here, let me know. We can start with you, love. If not, we can do yours next week at an earlier, because I'm going to go earlier next week. I'm probably start at 7. Oh, there you are. Okay, hun. So awesome. So I want you to go ahead and start your medicine wheels and bring in all your guides and let me know when you're ready so we can connect, okay? See. Look, my new little wand. The hubby bought it for me. And he bought himself this cute little tower. He likes these obelisks. He has another one that's a aventurine, green aventurine. Okay, you're ready? Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to you now. All right, so we have a guide that's like right in front of you. She has this beautiful flowing white hair and like white energy, just emanating like kind of like purified energy, I would say. And she's kind of pointing at the sacral energy within you, and then also heart, the back, your third eye, your ears, your hands. Okay. She looks like to me, she looks like a fairy, but she's dressed in all white. Her skin is pale and her hair is super white, just like the same as color as her clothes. And she's floating. Very ethereal type of energy. Very beautiful too. Okay, so we're going to start with the sacral because she wants that to be the first focus. So I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on there. So this is kind of like an energy that's going into the sacral, but it's also moving into like the kidneys and the liver area. So kind of like the lower half of your abdomen area. So like your intestines there and stuff like that. So she wants you to clear. So energy clearing for them, purifying. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring in, I'm looking at water energy. So we're going to do water energy coming in through your esophagus downwards into your stomach, going into your intestines, going into the kidneys, the bladder, the liver, into the large intestine and out. Going into the sacral, ovaries, and uterus and out. Going into the legs and out of the feet. This is kind of like a detoxing. That's what she's calling it. Detoxing. Detoxing of energy. Moving up to the heart space. We're going to do the same thing. Water energy going in, down through the throat, expanding through the arms, out of the fingertips, moving into the heart and outwards through the back as well, from the front and the back. Detoxing, removing residual energies. Now we're going to go into the third eye. We're going to do the same with water energy. Removing, releasing the ears as well. So it's like sinuses too. Cleansing and purifying out through the ears. We're going to bring in some fire energy around the auric field, transmuting energy around your aura. Bringing in water to repair. Okay, so your guide, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to have time for yourself, kind of like go on a retreat or a vacation. Brittany, we're disconnecting, cleansing, and clearing. So she's kind of like making it a point that it's time for you to really take a break for yourself. Possibly go on a little vacation if you can, and just like detach yourself from the energies that are going on around you, because I feel like you have this immense sensitivity now. Like she's kind of highlighting the very sensitive energy, like very it gets stuck here, like it goes here, from like goes in, goes into the throat. You kind of feel like you have something stuck in your throat, and then into the chest too, like feel like something's stuck in the chest, and then goes down into like the sacral energy, and you're just like, what the hell? Like you're feeling all kinds of like weird energies around you, and it's because you're absorbing things. Okay, like you're absorbing emotional energy right now. Like it's making things like very intense for you, like very emotionally intense, and it's not yours. Okay, and so your guide is like, it's time for purification, it's time for detachment, it's time for you to seek a retreat, I would say. Like get away from the intensity going on, take a little like quiet vacation, and to recuperate, because it's definitely very intense, and you're just like, where the hell is this coming from? Like I don't understand why I'm getting teary-eyed or crying or feeling this lump in my throat or this ache in my heart, or things like that. And so so it's definitely very important for you to take a retreat. Okay, let's see, you said, yep, haha, a friend of mine just told me to check out an Airbnb for myself. Yes, that'll be really good. That'll be really good, Brittany. Like I feel like you need this time, away, and it's because of what's going on around you. It's like your healer energy is like, I'll heal you, but it's overwhelming. Okay, it's getting overwhelming. Okay, so you need a break. So your guide is saying purifying yourself daily will help you to alleviate some of this physical feelings and stuff like that, but also taking an actual break, like away from people, will definitely help you. Yeah, right. And it's not even yours. You are like I felt it like a big lump in my throat, but I was like, this is not hers, because she has spoken her truth. Like she has said the things she needed to say. And then I felt the pressure here in the heart and the back of the heart. And I was like, this is not her energy. Like this is definitely not hers. So it's definitely people around you. So Yeah, so good to know. Yeah, because I'm like I usually get sensations, and your guides are usually very accurate to tell me like, oh yeah, she needs to do this or that. But your guy was like, no, this is just she needs to just purify her energy from other people. So yeah, so I definitely recommend that, Brittany. Hopefully that'll help just fortify your energy field better too, because I feel like there's a lot of people around you who are just throwing things at you, but they're not doing it on purpose. Okay, it's not viciously or anything like that, but it's more like they release things, and you're there to catch it, like emotional release, even telling you about their crappy day or things like that, and you're just like you absorb everything. So it's good to just purify yourself and detach. Okay, so that's all I got for you, Brittany. Next we have is Miss Elizabeth Gonzalez. Yeah, so you're welcome, Brittany. So yeah, time for a vacation. Need to go to the beach. All right, Elizabeth, let me know when you're ready. I want you to, put a circle protection around you or create your medicine wheel where you call in, the 4 directions or the 4 elements. So north is going to be, in my tradition, it depends on you, it's going to be earth. And then you have you could just call in Archangel Uriel for the north, Archangel Raphael for your east, Archangel Michael for your south, and then Archangel Gabriel for the west. And just do it that way. They represent the elements as well. Okay, so do that and bring in your healing guides and ancestor guides and whatever else. Okay, so let me know when you're ready. Do, 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 do. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and connect to you. Let me just grab. Here we go. Getting turquoise for you. Okay, no wonder I got turquoise. All right, so I like this energy of the Virgin Mary. Or our equivalent is Tonanzi or Virgen de Guadalupe. I feel like there is a need for you to connect to her, a high need for you, because I feel like you need a little bit of more nurturing and love. So I'm feeling it right here in the heart space in the back. I'm also feeling kind of like sinus pressure right here and the third eye. And your hips, lower back. Your solar plexus, she's highlighting the solar plexus as well. So we're just going to do a quick chakra alignment. So we're going to start at the root, bringing in healing energies from the mother below us and creator above us, moving it into the root chakra, cleansing and clearing, releasing any body aches there in the lower belly and the hips and the thighs, allowing for more blood circulation, Moving on to the sacral. Again, Mother below us and Creator above us, healing energy into the sacral, cleansing and clearing and releasing any bloating, any swelling, healing any tearing, healing the digestive tract, sexual organs, the kidneys, the bladder, the liver, all of that. Moving on up to the solar plexus. Again, Mother below us and Creator above us, healing that area. We're also healing the stomach, pancreas, moving on up to the heart space. Mother below us, Creator above us, healing in the heart space. We're healing the hearts and the lungs, the circulatory system behind the heart in the back, and the arms and the hands, releasing any energy that hasn't been used. Moving on up to the throat. Mother below us, Creator above us, bringing in healing and releasing. Moving up to the third eye. Mother below us, Creator above us, healing and releasing through the nose, through the ears, through the eyes. Going up to the crown. Mother below us, Creator above us, connecting. Allowing yourself to understand the flow of Creator and your consciousness are always connected. You're always connected. You're always connected. Bringing in a huge pillar of golden light from above, going down through your entire physical body, going all the way down through and connecting to the mother below, all around your auric field. And here comes Tonantzin, who represents the mother. She's connecting to your heart space, and she's sending you beautiful pink energy, loving, nurturing energy, beautiful turquoise energy, protection, enveloping you in her arms. All that needs to be released, all emotions that need to be released, let her have them through your heart space. Let her keep them for you. You are loved and you are supported. All right, so we're cleansing and clearing and disconnecting now. Okay, Elizabeth. So it felt like just kind of like a buildup of energy. A lot of things needed to be released energetically speaking, kind of like residual energy. That's what I felt. And then connecting to your own guidance, especially your intuition, is important. That's why the mother, the representative of the divine feminine, you know, showed up, so that you could understand that, you know, everything that you do, it comes from a you know, a place of love. And even if it might not be perceived in that way with other people, it's still coming from a place of love. Okay. And so you understanding this is important, because you tend to be a very much hard on yourself when you feel like you've offended someone, or you feel like you've said something that you wish you shouldn't have. You tend to be very hard on yourself. Okay. And so the mother is always with you to help you and guide you and to heal that about you, that perception that you have about yourself. Okay. And it's important to connect in the way with the divine feminine within you, where you allow yourself to love yourself, you allow yourself to have compassion for yourself, because it's necessary for you. Okay. It's really hard for you to have compassion for yourself, because you're very much you know, I would say you're very easily you're easily compassionate for other people, but it's really hard for you to to do the same for yourself. And so that being said, it's important for you to really connect to that space, and bring in the mother energy. You know, bring in you know, whomever that represents for you, Mother Mary, you know, or Virgen de Guadalupe, whoever. Okay, because they'll help you with that. Okay, embracing that more about yourself. Yay! Awesome, Elizabeth. That's great. Yeah. The more that you do that, the more that you get into really understanding yourself and really loving yourself, and really not overly criticizing yourself, or not comparing yourself or anything like that to other people. The better you're going to be, the better at connecting with your intuition and with your gifts. Okay. Everyone has a unique gift. Everyone has something to bring to the table. Okay. And when we compare ourselves, like our stories or our gifts to other people, we tend to forget that uniqueness of ourselves. You know, we tend to think, oh, I wish I had that, or oh, I wish, you know, I had a, you know, this or stuff like that. And so instead of saying, oh, you know, I'm grateful that I'm me, you know, I'm grateful that I have this life, this family, these gifts, you know, things like that. Yay, that's great. That's great. So another thing she was kind of saying is, like, when you connect intuitively, you have to connect here first. Okay. So when you're connecting, when you do meditation, you connect to your heart space. You could even do it with your physical hand to help you and guide your energy. So you connect with your dominant hand, and then your non-dominant overlapping, and you connect from, like, imagine a beautiful string of light coming from your heart and shooting upwards all the way up to creator and connecting to creator's heart space. And then imagine another one shooting downwards through the earth and connecting to the mother's heart down there. Okay. And then imagine them sending back that love and whatever energy you need, you know, into your heart. And then from there, spreading out to your entire body, as well as your entire auric field. And that's how you connect, because it's a heart connection that you like, kind of acts as your right away your intuition, because you're very you sense things. Okay. You're empathic, and you absorb energy. Okay. So it's like emotional energy in particular. So when somebody tells you something, like a word, right? Like someone's telling you a story, you pick up on the emotion. You don't really I would say you don't really pick up on the words that they're saying. It's more the emotion behind the energy of the words. Okay. So that being said, that's kind of like one of your big, like sensory, I would say guidance at this time when it comes to your intuition. But the, like I would say the foremost one is clear cognizance, so the mind. So when you connect upwards and downwards in from your heart, the mind doesn't get in the way. Okay, like the thoughts don't get in the way of like you doubting what you're seeing, you doubting what you're being told, things like that. Okay, because you have a really strong connection in that way too with the mind. So I would definitely look into, I don't know if you've ever gotten your astrology chart done, but I would definitely look into getting it done. Because I feel like you have a lot of aspects in the realm of the air signs, and it tends to get in the way sometimes of you in your intuitive Cancer energy. Okay, where the Cancer energy is nurturing, is very lunar, is very connected intuitively with emotions, as well as the other side, of course, because it's very spiritual. And then the air sign energy tends, it's the mind. Okay, and it tends to like start to dictate or analyze right away what you receive when with your emotion, as well as with your sensory of your like body. Okay, so it's important to see where those placements are at so you can know how to navigate through them. Okay, as intuitively speaking too, it'll help to connect in that way. All right, so that's all I have for you, Elizabeth. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I feel like everybody needs to know where their placements are at. Like it helps, it really does help with intuition. Like you'll know like where your moon is. Your moon is your inner self, like the way that you perceive, you know, the world through your emotions and things like that. And then of course the rising can be an interference too, because the rising represents how people see you, you know, first impressions and things like that. And the rising can cause interference too, on the way that you connect intuitively too. I feel like my rising tends to interfere in the way that I analyze, where I overanalyze sometimes, or I used to overthink, you know, when I didn't really trust my intuition. And so that always had it in the back of my head, like, oh, that's wrong, or no, that wasn't right, or yeah. Or you're overthinking it, you know, things like that. So I always thought of my rising as being the interference too. So I always had to make sure that I use my rising for grounding, because it's an earth sign, and for you know, intellectual pursuits as well, for like learning new things and whatnot, especially when it comes to you know, I would say herbs and, you know, things like that, and working with magic. And then I'll use my moon sign for intuition, allow the intuition just come in without interference. All right, you're welcome, Elizabeth. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna check PayPal. All right, I have, let's see. Oh, past life. Petra, the past lives are usually for Mystic Mondays, and we're doing only energy work tonight. If you want, we can do your past life. You'll be the first one for next Monday, and I'll start off. I think we're going to start early. Not early. Not even early. I think it's going to be later on. Hold on. Let me check my schedule. Let's see, Monday. Okay, we're gonna start like around, I say like around 8 o'clock for Monday, and then for TOLTEC Tuesdays, the next day we'll start at 7, because that one usually takes longer because it's energy work. But yeah, so Petra, I'll do yours first thing for Monday. So Mondays, it's all only about card readings, because I usually have enough energy for each day. I separate my time with readings or clairvoyance, and then I do energy work the next day, because the energy work is really about being in ceremony and connecting to whomever purchases prior to the live. So really connecting to your needs and wants for the energies. And then the readings, you know, they don't take as much from me as the energy work does, but it's because I'm still connected, energetically speaking, to healing energy. So let me know. Let me know if you're going to be available for Monday for your reading, for your past life reading. That's what I see here, that you purchased a past life reading. Because I usually have them labeled on the on my website that this is specifically for Mondays and this is specifically for Tuesdays. So Mondays is only readings, and then for Tuesdays is only energy work. So just let me know if you're going to be around for Monday so we can do your past life reading. You're going to be the first one, and we're going to start at 8 p.m. Central for Monday. Okay, so just let me know. But that's all I have for you guys. So I know what's, you know, going on socially speaking with especially with our elections. You guys, don't fall into the fear energy with this stuff. Like, there's a lot of people who really I would say really connect in that sense where they feel like their life is over if one person wins over another person, but they're always the kind of similar side of, you know what I mean? Like, they're similar energy, like both of them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're just the same thing. Regardless of what we think or perceive or whatever, we're being told these scenarios and these stories about these people that we elect. We don't really personally know these people, but we're being told a story about them, you know, with the media and other people's influence, things like that. So just be mindful not to fall into that trap of fear when it comes to this. To be honest with you guys, like, I've never experienced any type of attachment to who or whatever wins. Like, the only time I've ever seen anything that happens that actually directly affected me because of our presidential candidates was during the Bush era and the Obama era, and because I was in the military, it directly affected my job. So that's the only thing I can say. Like, I honestly think, like, that's the only thing that will really affect me, is because I was in the military, I served, and I was following orders. So I was, you know, pushed to go somewhere for the mission, you know, things like that. So I honestly don't see any really negative effect in my life because, you know, Trump is the president or whatnot. I honestly see more of like to me, the only way it's going to impact me in a negative way is financially. Okay. And so if taxes get raised, for example, that'll be a bad impact for me, you know, and I'm sure with everybody. But I feel like I've gotten way more of a tax break. I'm going to be honest. As a small business owner, I feel like I've gotten a lot more of a tax break as a small business owner under a Republican president than I did with Obama. Okay. I felt like my taxes were always fucked when I was when Obama was in charge. I always saw it, like, I always owed money, like, to the state of California, especially. This thing, I feel bad for you guys out there. You guys probably always owe money when it comes to taxes to the state. So I always owed money to the state. I always owed money to the fucking feds when Obama was in charge. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? You know? And then when Trump got into office, I got more money back. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Did I do my taxes correctly? But yeah, so as a small business owner, that's my experience. Okay. I know not a lot of people have similar experiences, but I feel the only time it impacts me is my wallet. That's just how I see it. And so you know, whoever you vote for is whoever you vote for. It's based on, you know, what impacts you. But don't fall into that trap of being in fear if this party wins over that party. Okay. It's all supposed to happen. All right. When we look at the grand scheme of things, we're supposed to experience life here in however way that appears to us. And so it's very important to be more of like understanding that if we focus on oh, I hate this person and I wish this person wasn't our president, instead of focusing on like, you know what? I love my life right now. I love how things are going. I love that this is happening for me, and in a great, like being in gratitude for what you have instead of what you don't want. That's when things shift in your life, and that's when things don't affect you as intensely, and you don't fall into that fear energy. You know, like a lot of people, if you've noticed, a lot of people might be in fear right now because of this election. So I would always recommend that to everyone. Make sure that you guys are really seeing things from a better scope or a broader scope, and not attaching yourself to that fear energy. Okay, your life is not going to end. Like, your life is not going to be over. You're going to continue to move forward even if the president changes, you know. And so it's important to have that mindset of strength and fortitude, that we are the ones that really impact our lives through our mindset, through what our actions we take, especially when it comes to our money. If it's like, okay, government money, you know, like it's taking your money, yeah, so that'll impact you. But again, our mindset when it comes to that stuff is important. Okay, so just make sure you're in a clear mind. You're in a healthier, I would say, elevated energy, because again, you're fortifying your energy field. Okay, you're not being attacked, I would say. That's what happens with when you don't fortify your energy field, when you have a negative mindset, when you just feel very pessimistic, is because there's something going on. Okay, it's important for you to switch that mindset to, you know, strength and empowerment. Okay, knowing that you have a direct impact into your life, and people here and there can influence you here and there, but it's your choice to whether or not to listen. Okay, and choose, you know, to take action on whatever else you're hearing over here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say, you guys. And just be mindful and just take care of yourselves, and make sure you guys are nurturing yourselves. Taking time away from yourselves is important around this energy, especially because if you guys are healers, you guys are sensitive. Okay, and you're gonna get a lot of you know, collective residual energy being thrown at you because you're a healer. So make sure you take a break from people. Make sure you take a break from social media, from the news stuff, whatever. Okay, and take care of yourselves. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys next week, Monday, for Mystic Mondays. Actually, you know what? I'll see you guys on Friday, because we have upcoming interview with Nina from from Crystal Sun Healing. So I'll see you guys Friday when she comes in for an interview. Okay, so she's another beautiful healer that's gonna definitely assist humanity with that, I would say, because she's a Gemini, she's very special in the way that she perceives the world, where she understands, like, to see the shadow and to see the light, because they both come in together to balance ourselves, to not deny one over the other. So that's what I understand about her beautiful power, is to really see duality for what it is, and the lessons and the wisdom that we gain from those lessons. And that's how she heals. And of course, she's very connected to feminine as well as to masculine energy. I feel like she has a perfect balance of both. And I also feel like she has a perfect understanding of that nature within us. So you guys, very excited to have her on the show, and I'll see you guys on Friday. We're going to start, I believe, let's see, we just changed the time. We're going to start Friday at, let's see, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so don't miss out on that interview. And I'll see you guys then. Okay, love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Again, don't stress. Don't connect to that fear energy. Connect to your heart. Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye.